Right before our wedding, my husband's mother faked a health emergency, claiming, "If you love me, you'll postpone the ceremony." My husband looked at me and said, "We can't go through with it now." Smiling, I nodded and announced a decision that left them both pale. I've been with my fiancé Stevie for about 5 years now. We met during our college days at the University of Michigan. After graduation, we both landed jobs in Chicago and decided to make it our home. Stevie's family is from a small town in Indiana, just a couple of hours away. His mother, Nancy, has always been involved. She's a widow, and Stevie is her youngest, so I get it to some extent, but sometimes her involvement feels more like intrusion. When Stevie proposed last year, I was over the moon. We set our wedding date for June 15th, aiming for a beautiful summer ceremony by Lake Michigan. Everything was falling into place. Venue booked, invitation sent, dress fitted. I was deep into the final stages of planning when the first hiccup occurred. 3 weeks before the wedding, Stevie received a call from Nancy. I remember it vividly because we were in the middle of choosing our wedding cake flavors. Stevie's phone buzzed, and seeing it was his mom, he stepped aside to take the call. Moments later, he returned, face pale and brows furrowed. "What's wrong?" I asked, setting down the cake sample. "It's Mom," he began, voice laced with concern. "She says she's been having chest pains and shortness of breath." Alarm bells rang in my head. "Has she seen a doctor?" "She says she has an appointment tomorrow." That night, Stevie was restless. He kept checking his phone, waiting for updates from Nancy. The following afternoon, she called again, informing Stevie that her doctor recommended a series of tests to rule out any serious conditions. She sounded scared, emphasizing how much she needed Stevie by her side during this time. Stevie was torn. "I think we should postpone the wedding," he said, pacing our living room. "Mom needs me right now." I understood his concern. Family is important, but postponing a wedding 3 weeks out? The logistics were nightmarish. Deposits, vendors, guests who had already made travel arrangements. It wasn't a simple decision. "How about this?" I suggested. "You go to Indiana and be with your mom. I'll handle things here. We can proceed as planned, and you can be there for her leading up to the wedding." Stevie nodded, seemingly appeased by the compromise. A few days later, I decided to call Nancy directly. I wanted to check on her, offer support, and perhaps get a clearer picture of her health situation. "Hi, Nancy. It's me," I began. "How are you feeling?" "Oh dear," she sighed. "It's been tough. The doctors are running so many tests. I'm just overwhelmed." "I'm so sorry to hear that. Is there anything I can do?" "Just take care of Stevie. He worries so much." Our conversation was brief, but something felt off. Later that day, while scrolling through social media, I noticed Nancy had posted photos from a garden party she attended the previous evening. She looked radiant, laughing and enjoying herself. Confused, I decided to dig a little deeper. I reached out to a mutual acquaintance in Nancy's town, subtly inquiring about her health. The response I received was unexpected. "Oh, Nancy! She's been out and about attending events and hosting gatherings. Haven't heard anything about health issues." My heart sank. Was she exaggerating her condition? That evening, I confronted Stevie. "Stevie, I need to talk to you about your mom." He looked up from his laptop, concern evident. "What about her?" I took a deep breath. "I spoke to her today. She mentioned feeling overwhelmed with tests and health issues, but then I saw photos of her at a party last night. She seemed fine." I also heard from someone in her town that she's been active and social. Stevie's face hardened. "Are you suggesting she's lying?" "I'm saying something doesn't add up." He ran a hand through his hair, frustration evident. "I can't believe she'd do that." "I think we need to address this head on," I said gently. The next day, Stevie called his mom and asked pointed questions about her health. Initially, she was defensive, but eventually, she admitted that she might have overstated her symptoms. She confessed that she felt uneasy about the wedding and feared losing her close bond with Stevie. Stevie was hurt. "Mom, you could have just talked to us. Faking a health scare isn't the way." "I'm sorry," she whispered. I don't want things to change." With the truth out, Stevie and I decided to proceed with our wedding as planned. Nancy apologized, and while trust needed rebuilding, we chose to move forward with understanding. On June 15th, under the clear Chicago sky, Stevie and I exchanged vows. Nancy was there, supportive and smiling, perhaps realizing that while dynamics shift, love remains. This experience taught us the importance of communication and the complexities of familial relationships. As we danced that night, I felt a renewed sense of partnership with Stevie, knowing we'd face future challenges together, head on. Stevie and I had planned a short honeymoon in Aspen. Nothing too crazy, just a week in the mountains to breathe. After all the chaos, 2 days before we were set to leave, Caitlin called Harry again, crying this time, full-on sobbing. "Harry, please," she said. "I don't feel safe being alone. What if something really happens this time?" Harry looked at me, eyes heavy with guilt. "She's scared again." I didn't say anything right away. I just stared at the walls, counting every time she managed to wedge herself back between us. Then Harry said it. "I think we should postpone the honeymoon." I lost it. "Are you serious? After everything, you believe this is real again?" "She sounded different this time," he replied. I wasn't trying to be heartless. I'm not cold. But it didn't feel like we were starting a marriage. It felt like I was constantly fighting for a place beside my own husband. We didn't go to Aspen. He stayed home, and I went to my sister's apartment in Milwaukee for a few days. I needed air, needed quiet. He called me every night, said he missed me, said he was sorry. When I returned, things felt off. Harry was quieter, distracted, always texting. His phone never left his side, not even during dinner. I asked if everything was okay. He'd nod and give me some vague answer. Then one night, he was in the shower. His phone lit up on the nightstand. It buzzed over and over. I didn't mean to snoop, but the name on the screen wasn't one I recognized. Ellen. I opened the message. Just one line. "You were amazing the other night. I can't stop thinking about you." My stomach dropped. I couldn't even move, just stared at the words, frozen. When he came out of the shower, towel wrapped around his waist, I held up his phone. "What is this?" He looked confused at first. Then he saw the screen. His face went blank. Then he sat down on the edge of the bed and rubbed his face with his hands. "It's not what it looks like." I almost laughed. "Oh, really? Because it looks like you slept with someone else." He didn't deny it, not even once. Turns out Ellen was someone he met during one of his stress breaks while dealing with Caitlin's drama. He claimed it was just one night, that it was a mistake, that it didn't mean anything. I asked when it happened. He said, "Right after we got back from our wedding." So not just after the wedding, not before, right after. I asked if Caitlin knew. He hesitated, then nodded. Apparently, Caitlin met Ellen once when she visited Harry's office. She even encouraged their friendship, thought it was nice for him to have someone who didn't push too hard. She knew. She knew he was cheating and said nothing. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I packed a bag and left, went to a cheap hotel near Lakeshore Drive, spent 2 nights staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment over in my head: the wedding, the postponed honeymoon, Caitlin crying wolf, him sleeping with Ellen. And now I had a choice to make. I didn't want revenge right away. I wanted the truth. I wanted to know how deep the betrayal went, so I started digging. I got Ellen's last name through a mutual friend. I found her social media. She was posting photos at Harry's office, even tagged him in one with a heart emoji bold. I printed everything, every post, every text I could find, and then I messaged Ellen. I didn't yell, I didn't curse. I said, "Hey, Ellen, I'm Harry's wife. I know everything, but I want to meet. 1 hour, public place, no drama." She actually agreed. We met at a cafe near the Art Institute. She wore sunglasses like this was some celebrity affair. She sat down looking nervous. "I didn't know he was married," she said first. I didn't respond. I just slid a photo across the table, our wedding photo. She stared at it. "I swear he told me you two broke things off," she whispered. Then I asked the one thing I'd been afraid to ask. "Is this still going on?" She didn't answer with words. She just looked down. That was enough. So now I knew Ellen had no idea he was married, At least not at first. But the silence, the shame in her eyes that told me everything. It was still happening. I'm not here to beg, I told her. I'm not even mad at you. She looked up, surprised. I'm just trying to understand how far this went, I continued. She finally spoke. I didn't want to fall for him, I swear, but he said you were cold, that you left all the time, that you didn't support him. That hit me like a brick, not because I believed it, but because he actually said that. He painted me like the villain after everything his mother put us through, after I stood by him, after I married him despite the chaos. I asked her how long it had been going on. About 2 months, she said. That meant before the wedding. While we were finalizing seating charts, Harry was sneaking around with Ellen. I didn't tell her off. I thanked her for her honesty and left. I didn't go back to the hotel. I went home, walked into the apartment like I hadn't just found out my life was a lie. Harry was sitting on the couch, acting like everything was normal. I talked to Ellen, I said. He stood up fast, like someone hit a buzzer under his feet. What? Why would you? She told me everything. He froze. You cheated before the wedding? I said quietly. You lied to me, lied to everyone, and your mother helped you cover it up. No, that's not how, he started, but I cut him off. She met her. You didn't even deny it. What kind of man needs his mommy to help hide an affair? He didn't say anything, just stared at the floor. I packed the rest of my stuff, left him standing there, pathetic and quiet. But this wasn't going to end with me just walking away. Oh no, I decided to file for separation the next day, but I didn't tell him. I needed time, space, strategy. And then one more twist. As I went through our shared bank account to prepare my documents, I noticed something weird. Multiple charges in Indiana, spas, jewelry stores, hotel stays. These weren't small purchases, thousands of dollars. All around the time Caitlin was supposedly sick. I called one of the hotels. Hi, can I confirm if a Harry last name stayed there recently? Yes, he checked in with another guest. Last month with Ellen Paz. No, the guest's name was Caitlin. I was stunned. Harry and his mother stayed in a hotel together while she was faking chest pains. I drove back to Indiana, straight to that hotel, talked to a concierge, got friendly, slipped him a 50. She acted like she owned the place, he said. Spa every day, room service like clockwork. Even had some guy come visit her. Harry, I think, but not always him, sometimes another younger man. Wait, another man? Did you catch a name? The concierge checked. Yeah, Roger something. I didn't know a Roger, but Caitlin sure as hell never mentioned one. Back in the car, I sat for 10 minutes, just staring through the windshield. This was deeper than just an affair. Harry and his mother had been working me maybe financially, maybe emotionally, maybe both. I confronted Caitlin next, went to her front porch in Indiana, rang the bell. She looked surprised, but only for a second. Sweetheart, you shouldn't be here. Harry's not home. I didn't come for Harry, I said. I laid it all out, the hotel, the charges, Ellen, Roger. That's when I saw something new in her face. Not guilt, not shame, fear. She tried to wave it off. You're reading too much into it. Roger's a friend. He's just helping me with some estate stuff. Estate stuff you paid for with our joint account? Silence. Then for the first time, Caitlin snapped. You always made Harry feel small, like he had to choose between us. I blinked. So you pushed him to cheat, lied about your health, took money from our account? Her mouth twisted into a smirk. You wouldn't understand. You were never family. Right then, I knew this wasn't just a clingy mother-in-law. This was planned. They never intended for me to last. Caitlin saw me as competition, and Harry, he was either too weak to stand up to her or he was in on it the whole time. I walked away that day with only one goal left. I wasn't just going to leave. I was going to destroy the illusion of their perfect little lie. And if I had to expose every dirty detail to do it, so be it. When I left Caitlin's house that day, my hands were shaking, not from fear rage. They played me, humiliated me, lied to everyone. I gave everything to that marriage, and they turned it into a joke. I could have walked away. Could have just filed for divorce. Let karma do its thing. But no. I wanted to make sure karma showed up with a wrecking ball. First, I needed legal help. I found a no-nonsense divorce attorney in Chicago named Ms. Susan. She was tough, straight-talking, and as soon as I told her what happened, she leaned in like she was invested. "You want blood or just freedom?" she asked. "Both." We dug deep. I gave her every document I found: bank records, receipts, texts, social media screenshots. We built a full timeline from Caitlin's fake health scare to Harry's affair to the shared account misuse. Turns out, what they did wasn't just immoral, it was fraud. Harry used our marital funds for his mother's lavish trips and to help her consult with her shady friend Roger. He even moved part of our savings to an account under his name only, and that was illegal. I created a Google Drive with all the files, every receipt, every message from Ellen, even the voice memos Harry left crying after I left him. Then I sent a link to Harry's boss, to Caitlin's church group, to Ellen, and to Harry's college alumni newsletter inbox, where he bragged about our wedding last month. And because Harry worked in public relations, I forwarded the whole file anonymously to one of his company's biggest clients. They dropped him within 48 hours. I didn't expect Ellen to join me, but once she saw the full truth, Caitlin helping Harry cheat, Harry stealing money from our joint account and lying to her, she lost it. Turns out Ellen had dirt of her own. She had emails, audio, photos. She offered to testify for my divorce case. Harry's attorney quit the same week. Caitlin, she tried to run damage control, called me crying again. "I never meant for this to happen," she sniffled. "You never meant for you to get caught," I said. Then I hung up and blocked her on everything. We went to court. It was ugly. Harry looked like a ghost. Caitlin didn't show up, probably too ashamed. Ms. Susan laid everything out. The affair, the financial betrayal, the lies. Harry didn't fight. He just sat there, head down. The judge granted the divorce immediately. I got the apartment, half of our savings, and an order for Harry to pay legal fees and restitution for misused funds. He tried to talk to me after the hearing. "I'm sorry. I got lost. I didn't mean for any of this. Just don't." I walked away. But here's where I messed up. After everything, I thought I'd feel better. I thought burning it all down would make me whole again. It didn't. I'd spent so long hating them, fighting them, I forgot to heal myself. I pushed away friends who tried to help. I stopped trusting people. And worst of all, I started believing maybe I wasn't enough, that I had made him cheat. That if I were softer, kinder, more forgiving. But that was the final lie they fed me. I'm still rebuilding. New apartment, new job, new therapist. No contact with Harry or Caitlin. I heard Caitlin had to sell her house after some shady investments with Roger went south. Apparently, he ghosted her after draining her savings. Harry, last I heard, he was living in his cousin's basement, fired, reputation ruined, still blaming everyone but himself. And me? I'm not perfect. I let love blind me. I ignored red flags. I tried too hard to keep a relationship alive that was already dead inside. That's on me. But now I sleep peacefully, because the next time someone tries to lie to me, to cheat me, to erase me, they better remember what I did to the last ones. And I'll remember what it took to rise from it.